Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight we are gonna be hanging out for a couple of hours and we're gonna be discussing a lot of things that have happened over the past week. Some updates to topics I've talked about, some new rumors, some new claims being released onto the internet, which obviously everything on the internet is always true, right guys? Someone would go on the internet and lie? No, surely not. So tonight, oh boy, yeah, we have a bunch of different stuff to discuss. We're going to be talking about a rumor that the Marvel Comics Vice President of Content and Character Development has been fired from the company. Now, this is a rumor and a speculation that I had heard about a couple of months ago, when a couple of other YouTubers, like Heel vs. Babyface, were talking about the potential of this person being fired over misconduct, some things happening in the workplace. And I didn't talk about it just because there was never any kind of information released. There was never like any emails released or any kind of like other tweets put out about it, so I didn't really talk about it then. I think I might have like briefly mentioned it, but that was it. But this rumor is circulating again, and there's a lot of people that are wondering if it's real, if it's not real, and I really wanted to talk about it because Marvel sucks. I think Marvel sucks now, and I think a lot of you could agree with that. And I always find rumors about Marvel to be really interesting because a lot of the time they're true. So I wanted to talk about that. And again, it's a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. But damn, does Marvel have a track record? We're going to be talking about two different Halo topics. I wanted to first talk about the Halo actor who's playing Master Chief, saying that showing Master Chief's face was always a necessary thing to get the audience comfortable with going on this journey. And I, as a Halo fan, totally and completely disagree with this. We're talking about a franchise that is not new. We're talking about a character that has never shown his face for specific reasons in the games, and going into a TV show. I've said this in my videos on the Halo show. I understand why they might want to have a moment where his helmet is taken off, and maybe there's like an emotional connection to that moment or something. I understand that they might want to do that, but in my opinion, I don't even kind of like the idea of it happening once just because it's never happened. But if they were going to do it, I would only be okay with them doing it once. And it doesn't sound like they're going to do that. Obviously, the show doesn't come out for a couple more days, and once it comes out, I will watch it. I'll get through it. I'll give you guys my thoughts on it eventually. But it sounds maybe like they're going in an unfortunate direction, sort of like Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian, where it's not just happening once. It's going to be more often than not, the helmet is off. So I wanted to talk about that, and I also wanted to talk about another quick Halo topic, and I had mentioned this in my previous Halo video, but the showrunner, Stephen Kane, said the writing team didn't look at or talk about the game. We wanted to talk about the characters and the world. And this is just such a... Oh no, this is such a worrying statement. Because, again, while I understand that they didn't want to copy and paste the game, that's what fans wanted. I understand that they wanted to do something like a little bit different and slightly change things up. At the same time, most people that have either played a Halo game or care about the Halo universe are not watching this show because it's a new take and a new spin on Halo. We're watching it just to basically see the story be copy and pasted into a live action format. And we know that they're doing this different timeline. They're calling it the Silver Timeline. They're basically pulling a J.J. Abrams Star Trek here with the Kelvinverse. I mean, unfortunately, the more we've heard about this series, the less hopeful I've become. Because at first, I was like, oh yeah, this could be really cool. I do not think that Halo is something that could not work at all in a live action format. I think that it could be pretty cool, but the more we've heard, the less interested I've become. We've heard a lot of very worrying rumors, speculations, and also just confirmed information exactly like this, saying the writing team didn't look at or talk about the game. You're making a show based on a game. Why wouldn't you look at the game and look at the game's story to get a feel for why these games were successful, why you even got a chance to make a TV show out of this? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, the topic we're going to be talking about after that is about Damon Mills. Now, I had talked about this briefly when the allegations first came out. I haven't done a video on it or anything, but there is a lot more information coming out now. And this was an article that was posted today, but the tweets that this article were based on were from 2 days ago. It says anime industry members reportedly attempted to pressure Anime News Network into removing coverage of the accusations against Damon Mills. And you know, I'd love to be like, wow, that's really surprising, but it's not at all. We know that a lot of Western anime voice actors, and I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are not so great people, and a lot of them are kind of hypocrites. I mean, just judging by the way that they interact with each other on social media and the way that they interact with fans on social media. They go on social media, they push their political opinions, they say screw people we don't like, and it's very cliquish. It's kind of like, if you're in with the right people and you're in the right friend groups, you know, everyone's nice to you. And if you're on the outside of that friend group and that clique, you have no chance, basically. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it kind of is. And now this report is coming out that anime industry members attempted to pressure Anime News Network into removing the coverage about Damon Mills. So we're going to talk about that as well. And the final topic that we're going to be talking about is Amazon. As you guys know, I love Lord of the Rings. I love The Hobbit. I love all of Tolkien's work. And I've been very worried about what they're going to do with the Rings of Power. I feel like the more we hear about it, again, like the Halo show, the less interested I become, the more worried I become. And now, I talked about this when it had happened, but, well, initially last year when we had heard about it happening, about Amazon purchasing MGM, but now there are reports of Amazon monopolizing Lord of the Rings, and of course, Tolkien fans are very upset about this. I feel like, unfortunately, and I'd love for this to be wrong, because I love Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, I love all Tolkien's work. I have a bad feeling that with this news, after the Rings of Power, at least season 1 comes out, it's only going to get worse. I think that we're going to see the other seasons of this show. We don't know exactly how many seasons of the Rings of Power there's going to be, but we do know there's going to be multiple seasons. I think with each season, it's only going to get worse. They're only going to veer off more and more from the source material. They're going to disregard the source material. We're going to see even more original characters and original storylines, and they're just going to change everything that they can. They're going to disregard everything that they can to basically take something like The Lord of the Rings and twist it into what their vision is and what they think Lord of the Rings should be. So these are the topics we're going to be discussing tonight. Before we get into them, though, hello everyone. I hope that your evening is going well. Welcome to the live stream. Hello, hello. So how is everyone doing? We will get into the topics in just a minute. I'm gonna start with the Marvel one, because it is only a rumor, but I still wanted to talk about it quickly tonight, because if we find out that she didn't end up getting fired, and this is confirmed at some point down the line, I wanted to make sure I've talked about it before. Amazon has proven unworthy of Tolkien's legacy, and yet they have a monopoly on it 100%. I was very hopeful when they announced that they were doing the show, and I was really hoping that they'd kind of stick to the source material and they wouldn't fuck it up, and this is such a big chance, and now we're seeing them fuck all of it up and have a monopoly on it. Anything Amazon does will be a piece of shit compared to Jackson's Lord of the Rings. Oh, I agree. I think it's going to be a similar situation. And I've said this in live streams and also in videos. I think it's going to be a similar situation to Star Wars. Everyone loved the original trilogy, and then the prequel trilogy came out. Not a lot of people really liked the prequel trilogy, but once we saw the sequel trilogy, everyone loves the prequel trilogy now. And I think it's going to be the same thing with this. Everyone loves the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Everyone has so much nostalgia for them. But when the Hobbit trilogy came out, a lot of people were like, meh, it's okay. It could be better. A lot of people criticized it very heavily. But I think once The Rings of Power comes out, everyone's going to absolutely love and adore and cherish the Hobbit films. I actually was a fan of the Hobbit films. I didn't think that they were bad. Did I think they were perfect? No. But I thought they were at least good. But I definitely think it's going to be a situation similar to that. Halo ruined the FPS genre forever? Why do you say that? Why do you say that? I'm curious. Let me scroll up. I'm very worried for the Rings of Power. A part of me is worried because I still, for some reason, and I think a lot of people would agree with this because we don't want it completely fucking ruined, a part of me still wants the Rings of Power to come out and at least be half decent, because I don't want them to put out something that's absolutely dog shit, but I just have a feeling that it's going to be really, really bad. Once it comes out, I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna give it a shot, maybe it'll be okay. It might not be perfect, but it might be okay. But I think a lot of people at this point who are just kind of looking at the situation overall are extremely worried about it and not feeling very hopeful about it. Never played Halo or cared to. That's the thing, is that Halo is one of my favorite video game franchises. I think that Halo is just really, really great. I really fucking love Halo. And that's why I wanted the show to be good, because it'd be awesome to have a good Halo show. I don't want everything to come out and for everything to be trash and for everything to fail. I know that there are some people that are like that, and hey, if you want to see the world burn, okay. I'm not like that, though. Especially with things that I love. Like Tolkien's work. Like Halo. I want this shit to come out and I want it to be good. That's why I was so disappointed with Halo Infinite, because Halo Infinite, the story itself was good. It wasn't terrible. But unfortunately, they launched the game missing features, missing co-op, and at this point, I don't even remember the name of the other mode. There was co-op and it was missing another mode. It was missing multiplayer content, and they're slowly starting to roll some of that out now, right? But unfortunately, with Halo Infinite, it's like they needed another half a year, and at this point, a lot of people have just kind of given up on Halo Infinite. I mean, it's already lost like 95% of its player numbers, and it's no surprise to see why even someone like myself who absolutely loves Halo, and I enjoyed Halo Infinite at first, and it was missing content. It got very stale very quickly because there weren't features in the game that should have been in the game. It is what it is. They made a decision to launch it too early, to launch it with missing content, and hey, they pay the price. You know, for someone like me, if the competitive scene had picked up, I think that the game maybe would have lasted a bit longer. But when you're launching games that do have problems, missing content, you shouldn't expect people to stick around. Even people like me that would fucking love to have a new Halo game that stays around for a couple of years. And I know that they're planning to update Halo Infinite for a long time, and it's not like a Call of Duty where they plan to release a new one next year, but I definitely feel like they need to do something massive, and I don't think that they're going to do that. But alright, you guys, let's get started with the first topic at hand, which is going to be Marvel. You guys know I talk about Marvel a lot here on the channel. Sometimes it's sales numbers, sometimes it's movies, sometimes it's rumors, and today I wanted to talk about a rumor that, as I had mentioned, started a couple of months ago, and we're seeing it kind of make the rounds again. And a lot of people are talking about it, and I wanted to talk about it. So it says, rumor, Marvel Comics Vice President Sana Amanat fired. A relatively recent rumor claims that Marvel Comics Vice President of Content and Character Development has been fired from the company. This is someone, I don't know if you all are going to remember this name, Sana Amanat. But she was someone who was hired a couple of years ago, basically so that they could go, look at us, we hired a woman, and we put a woman as the vice president of blah, 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 blah. That's all I hear when I see this title. Marvel Comics Vice President of Content and Character Development. I understand it's a role that needs to exist, don't get me wrong, but it's like they found a role for her that was kind of higher up, and she'd have a slightly fancier title, but they basically did it because they said, hey, look, we need to put a woman in a couple of roles. It says the rumor first surfaced back in December 2021 when YouTuber As of Heel vs. Babyface took to Twitter to ask, hey, Marvel, could you please either confirm or deny the rumor that Sana Amanat was recently or still is suspended from work due to misconduct or something similar charges many things. So yes, it started off as she was suspended from work, and they weren't exactly sure where they were going to go with her. But the rumor now has shifted a tiny bit, and now it's that she's been fired. It's all rumors. Take it with a grain of salt. That's what I always have to say. I'm not saying this is confirmed. I'm not saying this is 100% truthful. It is a rumor. Do with that as you will. But it says he recently, on March 13th, followed up on this idea in a recent tweet, saying, at Marvel, is there any truth to the rumor that Sana Amanat has or is in the process of leaving or being fired from the company? Scrolling down, it says former DC Comics artist and creator of Cyberfrog, EBS, added credence to the rumor. He first tweeted, as has a rumor that Sana has been fired from Marvel for sexual impropriety with 2 male employees. Hey, very serious here. I would never laugh at such a thing, you know? He also followed up with saying, at Rich Johnston, my guess is that this is bullshit, because if it was true and some bald British YouTuber got it before bleeding cool, oh no. Listen, Twitter is a shitty place, right? But there are very few people on Twitter that don't post bullshit. And this is one of those posts that just reads so funny. In a separate tweet, Van Sciver claimed more confirmation was coming in regards to the rumor. He wrote, "Hey, Bleeding Cool. In Rich Johnson, more confirmation is coming about Sana allegedly losing her job at Marvel for sexually harassing Disney employees. Will you investigate?" These are some pretty crazy rumors. It's not just like, oh, this person's leaving because of reasons unknown, because they want to leave, or maybe there was like slight issues behind the scenes, because usually we just hear, oh, they're parting ways mutually. That's kind of the answer that we always get when someone's leaving a company, or we hear a rumor that they're getting fired and something's happened. Usually it's, oh, they're just parting ways. That's usually what happens, because it's not like she's a no one at the company. If she was a no one at the company, then yeah, I think that obviously this rumor wouldn't matter, first of all, but I definitely think that we wouldn't be getting these specifics, because these are very specific rumors about very specific things that allegedly happened at the company. Now, Marvel, don't strike down my YouTube video, my live stream. I'm just reading a rumor here. I'm not saying your employee sexually harassed Disney employees, right? You guys are my legal witnesses. I'm just reading a rumor off of a screen. But damn, these are some serious rumors. Jesus Christ. Somebody said reliable source as, and then EVS, it said, yeah, I got a second better source I didn't believe as, could just be a rumor. He also would indicate that he is taking the rumor with a grain of salt, writing on Twitter, albeit he added more information to the rumor. Someone said, all right, we'll see. I'm taking this with a grain of salt. And EVS had said, dude, hashtag me too. I'm hearing Marvel is trying to parachute her out quietly without embarrassment. I mean, whenever anyone is fired from a company, and they do have a higher up role at said company, they definitely want to save themselves from embarrassment. They definitely want to save themselves from rumors flying around. They want everything to be very quiet and on the down low. But this is of course a pretty big rumor with very specific details. As noted by Clownfish, Amanat has not updated her Twitter account since December 2021, when, as from Heel vs. Babyface, originally questioned whether or not she had been suspended at Marvel Comics. I think that timing right there, for me, it's kind of like, okay, really? She couldn't have just played along a little bit longer? Her Twitter account wasn't updated and hasn't been updated since the rumor first was released that she was fired. That right there to me is like, it's like, okay, clearly there's some kind of substance to this rumor. Whether she was just temporarily suspended, whether she was completely fired and they basically said, hey, it's done, you're not coming back, whatever the case may be. She hasn't updated her Twitter account since then. And I want to check real quick just to make sure she hasn't in the past, like, 2 weeks. I don't know what her Twitter is, though. That's a thing. Yeah, I don't know what her Twitter is, because I was gonna check just to make sure that she hasn't updated it at all. Okay, I found it. Her Twitter account. Hold on one second. Okay. Oh, look at that! It has been updated. Wow. They finally told her to, okay, shh. There's rumors going around, okay? Even though you're gonna leave the company, can you just put out a couple of fucking tweets? Okay, dude. Oh, that go away, OBS. That is some suspicious timing. So this was her last tweet. It was December 22nd, 2021. She had last tweeted about Miss Marvel, and then conveniently, the day that the Miss Marvel trailer came out, she put out a tweet about it. So she just went silent for 4 months, and then this rumor starts back up. Suddenly the Miss Marvel trailer's releasing and she comes back. There's been Miss Marvel news over the past 4 months, and she hadn't made any tweets about it, and suddenly she makes a tweet about it. That is too suspicious for me. That is too suspicious for me. I don't know. That was what I was thinking initially, was that they weren't going to say that they had let her go, if they had let her go, until Miss Marvel came out, because she was a co-creator of Miss Marvel. So I was thinking to myself, there's no way that they're going to, like, announce, oh, that this creator is suddenly gone from the company right before the show releases. I bet in a couple months, once it's released, she'll fade out into the sunset. But guys, that's all that I really had to discuss with that. The rumor is that they're letting her go. She has been tweeting from her Twitter account, so that's something. But she is tweeting about a character she co-created. And I do think that maybe, because the show comes out in June, I believe, so probably in August, it'll be removed from her bio, and everything will go silent. Because if they want to part ways with her, I do think that that's when she'll do it. But yeah, that's all that I had to discuss with that topic. Next, we're going to move into 2 Halo topics. I wanted to cover one, and then I was like, the other, I'm just going to shove them both together. So it's a 2-in-1 topic. Bye-bye, VP of Poop. Wow, Grim. Giving a very intellectual take over there. Wow, that is, those are words from a genius right there. Bye-bye, VP of Poop. So glad to have such a smart moderator giving such smart thoughts. She got a note. Christopher. Oh no. Mods are going crazy. Abuse of power. But yeah, let me scroll up for a minute and read some of the comments. She's a monster. I'm glad she's going. I don't look at a lot of people that are part of companies, and I'm not someone who's like, I love this person and I think that they're great, and I don't sit here and like idolize people from companies or actors. I don't really do that, but I never liked her. Grim is the voice of God. Yeah, that's it. Yes, thank you very much. Oh no. That comment, Slick, that's gonna go to his head. Oh no. VP of Representation of Non-Talent. She should... Guys, do you think we have a candidate for the list? Do you think that maybe she could go on the list? Because we changed the list to untalented hacks from devs that don't deserve my support. We changed it to the list of untalented hacks. Maybe she could go on the list. We'll see. But yeah, I never liked her. Again, she was someone that a couple of years ago, they had bumped up in position just from being a normal writer, and they had hyped her up and said, oh, she's gonna change Marvel Comics from the inside out. And oh, I remember a couple days ago when I had heard about this topic and I saw the article, I had Googled her name, and it's basically just like all these websites just being like, she's gonna change the comic industry, giving a female point of view and all this shit. You just made the list. But yeah, she's definitely someone that they had hyped up a bunch, and they had promoted a bunch. But yeah, we're going to talk about Halo in just a minute. 2 different Halo topics. She's definitely list-worthy. You guys like that? Wait, there's a list? Yeah, there's a list now of untalented hacks. Sana Amanat? Maybe. I'll consider it. We should have applications for the list. You can't add people to the list that have me blocked, though. So people like Jason Schreier literally can't go on the list because they have me blocked. So, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Some of the most untalented hacks there are can't go on the list. I know, it's a disappointment to me, too. But yeah, alright, let's get started with the next topic. We'll start with this first article. I guess it really doesn't matter which article we read first, because there's 2 Halo articles. But the first one is talking about Mr. Pablo over here. If you guys have not been following the news with the Halo TV show, he plays Master Chief. And the show does release at the end of this week. And while I'd like to say I'm excited for it, I'm really not. I absolutely fucking love Halo. And I would love a good Halo TV series, movie, whatever you want to give me for Halo, I will consume. But we've heard a lot of rumors, like how they were going to have Master Chief take off his helmet. We heard rumors that he was going to have a lot of scenes with his helmet off. And I feel like the more information we get about the series, the less interested people are becoming in it. And now, in an attempt to, I think, damage control a little bit, Pablo says showing Master Chief's face was always a necessary thing to get the audience comfortable with going on this journey. So according to him, the star of Paramount Plus's upcoming live-action Halo adaptation, the production team's decision to have his portrayal of the iconic series lead Master Chief regularly appear without his helmet was made out of a belief that such a reveal was always a necessary thing to get the audience comfortable with going on this journey. What kind of excuse is that? That is such a lazy bullshit excuse. Perhaps best known for his prior role is Nick Sobotka in The Wire, and George Mendez on Orange is the New Black gave his insight into Master Chief's helmetless depiction during a recent appearance. Speaking with Slash film reporter Ryan Scott on the topic following the series' world premiere at the festival on March 15th, he explained, "I always knew that the helmet off was going to be a big part of the show, because just quite frankly, it's the only way to tell this story in a long-form television format." What are these excuses? You're saying this character had to have his helmet off in a lot of scenes because it's the only way to tell the story? I don't understand this mentality. Is it just me? Am I stupid? What is this? What kind of excuses are these? The game was made as a first-person shooter where you're meant to believe that you're the Master Chief. So the character was kept vague for that reason, and you infused the character with your own personality and your... What? But you don't. He's acting like this is a game where you have multiple choices. You have like a light side option, a dark side option, and a neutral option. And you can put your own personality into Master Chief. I'm sorry, but that's not the way that Halo ever was. Master Chief acted a specific way because of the story and his backstory and the things that he went through, and that was just kind of that. It says this is a TV show being made for long-term success. In order to do that, you have to bring the audience along with you. How does having a character remove a helmet make the audience want to go along with you? How does that make just sense? And really, the only way of doing that is seeing the face, knowing how the character's feeling about things. That's how you empathize with them. That's how you go along with them on the journey. I'm just gonna call big old bullshit over here, because throughout the games, you could tell that Master Chief, even though he's never taken his helmet off, when he was upset, when he was sad, when he was angry, Because yes, maybe this is a little too hard for Hollywood actors, but the voice actors who have played him had to do it just via their voice, and the animators had to do it with the devs had to do it in a way where his body language told the emotions of the scene and how he was acting and the things that he was doing. I understand that, yes, there are going to maybe be specific scenes where having the helmet off can definitely help continue the scene and kind of show the emotion of the scene, like in The Mandalorian at the end of season 1 where he has to take the helmet off. I could see a situation like that. But to have a helmet off constantly in a franchise that this character has never shown his face and never taken his helmet off, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because again, yes, I understand that in some specific scenes, yes, maybe it'll be better if he has the helmet off. But as someone who has absorbed a lot of Halo content, who has taken in so much of it, I've read novels and played all the games multiple times over, I don't think that it's required to take the helmet off. I feel like it's just an excuse. It's an excuse to change things around, just like the timeline issue that everyone's criticizing them for now. They explained how they're doing a silver timeline for this show so that they can kind of follow some of the general details of the games and the stories that have been written, but at the same time, they can also put their own kind of twist on Halo, and they can make some of their own creative decisions with this TV show. That's not what I want when I'm watching a Halo TV show, though. I am someone who this show should appeal to. I should be super fucking hyped for it. But, unfortunately, we're being put in a position where it's like, if you support this show, you're supporting them basically doing whatever the fuck they want and changing whatever the fuck they want, or you don't watch it and potentially miss out on a good experience. But I'm going to be honest right now, I do not feel confident in this show. I don't think that this show is going to be good. I feel like I'm going to watch the show because I am going to watch it. I am going to try to give it a chance, consume product that I talk about, you know what I'm saying? I have a feeling that this show is going to be very, very fucking mediocre. And I have a feeling it's not going to be good. But thank you, Revenger of the Netherrealm, for the $10 super chat. Much appreciated. This is the exact opposite of what Tamara Morrison said about Boba Fett. Boba was not supposed to take his helmet off for the exact same reason Master Chief never took his off. Yep, 100%. I mean, I agree with Morrison when he said that he understood that this is a big part of the character. And it's not like this is... I feel a little bit differently with The Mandalorian, primarily because it was a new character. While, yes, he was a Mandalorian, and Mandalorians aren't supposed to have their helmets off, I feel like they could get away with it a little bit more just because it was a new original character that didn't have these years and years and years of backstory and content and lead up to it. I felt a little bit differently, but I'm gonna be honest, it was still not great to see that happen with The Mandalorian. Just because, again, he was a Mandalorian. But thank you for the $10 super chat. I do really appreciate it. Thank you. Why is my fan not turning? My fan is, like, breaking, guys. But thank you for the $10 super chat. But yeah, that's his shitty reasoning as to why Master Chief is going to have a lot of scenes in the show without his helmet on, which, again, is absolutely ridiculous and very dumb reasoning. But I want to go into the next article on Halo in just a minute. Thank you, Daniel, for the $2 super chat. You have a good point. One Vera to rule them all. Thank you. Much appreciated. But yeah, if maybe in, like, one scene... We don't know how many seasons they're going to do with the Halo show. Let's just say, for argument's sake, one scene per season. I don't think people would be as angry. I personally, again, wish that they didn't do it at all, primarily because we're talking about Halo here. And he's never taken his helmet off. But if they felt they needed to have at least one moment where he took the helmet off, I could maybe get past them taking the helmet off once. But multiple times, and to the extent where it feels like they're going in more of like a Book of Boba Fett direction and a Mandalorian direction, that's not something I'm not going to support or I'm going to be happy about. And I think a lot of Halo fans are not going to be happy about that either. I understand that they do need to make the show appeal to people that are also not diehard Halo fans, but if you don't have the diehard Halo fans, you're losing out on a major chunk of an audience. Boba Fett isn't really a character, he's a costume. And a plot device. His mysteriousness is his coolness. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that for sure. I do feel like the general character, like the costume, plot device, the mysteriousness is what made him cool. Now, he's not really that cool. Thank you, Davies, for the 5. I am a huge Xbox fan, and Halo fan. The way Master Chief should not remove his helmet, like Dredd in the second movie. Yeah, I don't think that they should have him remove his helmet at all. But if they have to once, I think that Halo fans, I don't speak for every Halo fan, but I think that a lot of Halo fans could get past that. But to do it multiple times, to do it more often than not, that's the problem. But thank you for the 5. Much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, let's also talk about this second Halo topic. It says, Halo showrunner Stephen Kane says the writing team didn't look at or talk about the game. We talked about the characters and the worlds. This is another giant fucking problem. When you have this very large franchise with many games, many novels, lots of fucking source material, and showrunners are openly admitting that people like the writing team are saying they didn't look at or talk about the game. Or games, plural, because there's multiples, but let's just say, for argument's sake, just the first game. Why would you... First of all, why would you admit that? It just makes them look so dumb and so lazy. But why wouldn't you take that opportunity to go, okay, while we're not telling the exact same story, why don't we just look at what made this franchise successful? Why do millions and millions of people love Halo? Why do millions and millions of people care about this franchise? And why we were able to create this show in the first place? Because you can't deny it. If the games hadn't sold well, the show wouldn't be made. People are so dumb. How could you be this stupid? To admit this and not even do it. Jeez. The red flags continue to fly for Paramount Plus's upcoming Halo series, as in a recent interview, showrunner Stephen Kane has revealed that despite penning over 265 drafts of the live-action adaptation, he and the writing team did not look at or talk about the original games in any capacity. I am shocked. I truly am shocked. Oh my god. This is too much. This is too much. I can deal with a lot. This is too much. He revealed that Halo's writers' room's proud ignorance of Master Chief's original video game outings during a recent interview with Variety given alongside various members of the production team in promotion of the series' upcoming premiere. Speaking with the trade outlet, he asserted, "We didn't look at the game." I think it's also funny that he's saying game. There's many Halo games. So again, for argument's sake, let's say he's only talking about the first one. But, really? Anyway, too far ahead of myself. We didn't look at the game. We didn't talk about the game. We talked about the characters and the world, so I never felt limited by it being a game. How can you talk about the characters in the world that were started from a game? But you don't know anything about the game. You didn't play the game or watch the game or know about the game. How does that make sense? Oh my god. Turning to the topic of the Master Chief himself, the showrunner asserted he's everybody, right? He's you, he's me, he's a 6-year-old girl, he's a 15-year-old person in a different country. FBI, that's the man. Get him. Whoever plays the game is him. True. I do agree with that to a certain extent, because he's not... Because you're supposed to find something to connect with Master Chief on, but that's how everything is. Whether it's a TV show, a movie, a video game, you're supposed to see something in that character that you feel you can connect to, in most cases. But he has his own story. That's the thing, is that they're acting like Master Chief has this blank personality. Like, he's a customizable character in a video game when he's not. I mean, he has a set story, he's got set personality traits, he has a set background, he has a set attitude. He's not some, like, create your own character over here. You didn't pick up Master Chief and Build-A-Bear. Build your character. He's a set character. We're going to tell a story about a man discovering his own humanity, he explained. In doing so, he's inviting the audience to discover that guy's humanity too. But we want to hear about Master Chief. And while, yes, part of that journey is discovering humanity, I suppose, that's not all Master Chief was. It's like they just said, hey, you need to make a show about this guy that wears armor and kind of, like, is really cool. Like, it sounds like that's all they had to go on. Like, yeah, he's got to be a little human. You got to make people like him. How does that make sense? Thank you, Scoot, for the $4.99 super chat. This is like Bethesda's treatment of Fallout. All it is to them is the surface level, armor, weapons, alien ships, the nuances and complexities, no. Thank you for the $4.99, but yeah, I agree. It's very disappointing to see this be the response, to see this be the answer. This is the way they're trying to draw people into watching their shitty show at this point. They're basically saying, oh, it's about a guy doing stuff. Discovering humanity. It's like, what else is there? Recalling that he wrote, I can't believe this number, man. Recalling that he wrote upwards of 265 drafts of the series' first 9 episodes. Kane shared his excitement at the chance to put his own stamp on the Bungie-created universe. I don't want his own stamp on Halo. I just want Halo. Is it that much to ask? Man, imagine if George R.R. Martin could even get out 1 draft. It would be so much better than these 265 drafts that this one guy came up with. 265 drafts. Oh my god. Oh my god. There are characters that are mentioned once in a book that I was able to give a whole new backstory to, and other characters that were already well written that I just had to drop in, he said. I have to give credit to Microsoft. You can pitch them something brand new, and unless it really complicated them in terms of the canon or the values of the show, they embraced it. This is so bad. This is so bad. Yeah, this one random janitor that might have been sweeping the ground. Yeah, he's the fucking hero of the story now. This one random character that you saw mentioned once in a book, I gave him a whole new backstory. Oh, but the characters you actually care about and have nostalgia for, yeah, we just kind of dropped them in. We kind of downgraded their role a little bit. Wow. I don't know why he would ever admit these things, but he did. I guess I have to give him props for that. I guess I have to give this guy a little bit of props for being so bold, because while fortune favors the bold, fortune does not favor the hated. That's all I'm gonna say. The decision to split from the story of the Halo video games was further touched upon by 343 Industries head of Halo Transmedia Kiki Wolfkill, who told Variety, "Early on we were thinking about doing something that could tie very closely with the game. What we were finding was trying to verbatim stay with everything that come before wasn't serving the medium. It also wasn't serving the creative teams and their need to express a story and build the world through their eyes." While, again, yes, I understand that it would be difficult to make a game that is make a TV show that is one for one with the game and everything is exactly the same. I don't think everyone was expecting it to be an exact duplicate, just in a live action format. But we want it to at least be like 80% accurate, and it doesn't sound like they're doing anything that's going to be accurate in the show. Again, it does come out at the end of the week, and I will be watching it, and I will give you guys my thoughts on it, but that's all that I really had to discuss with Halo. The Master Chief actor had openly said he felt it was a necessary thing to get the audience comfortable with going on this journey, and that's why he doesn't wear his helmet a lot. And the showrunner said the writing team didn't look at or talk about the games, which is just a lot of very worrying information. So with that said, we're going to move into the next topic in a minute or two, which is going to be about Damon Mills. Boy, oh boy, boy, boy. Master Janitor. That's it. Master Janitor. Who would have thought that that's what we needed in life in a Halo TV show is Master Janitor. I don't know. Ugh. I don't think fortune favors the stupid either. I agree, Chris. I agree. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes, we are that stupid. That's basically what they said. I understand that when shows come out, we see a lot of interviews with, whether it's with main cast or writers or producers or whoever. I understand that they do a lot of interviews to try to hype people up and say, hey, look, we got to talk to the cast of this show before it comes out in a week. But to say such ridiculous things makes me not trust you and not trust the product you're creating. It makes me worry even more than I was already worried. It truly feels like they tried. Well, that's the thing, I guess, is that it's not even that they only tried a little, it's that they didn't try it all. It's like they didn't try it all to make it, so far from what it sounds like, the Halo that people love. Again, maybe it'll come out, maybe it'll be amazing, maybe I'll be completely wrong. I'll watch it, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a try. But all I know is that I'm feeling very confident in saying I think I'm going to be disappointed. I really do, which is just so unfortunate because I don't want them to fuck up Halo, but I think they're gonna fuck up Halo, and I don't think it's just gonna be fuck up Halo a little bit. I think it's going to be very, very fucked up. But we'll see. Only time will tell. Fortune doesn't favor the stupid, though. There wasn't even an attempt. Yeah, it doesn't sound like there was even an attempt to try to make it accurate or good or to please Halo fans, to make fans happy. It just sounds like they said, hey, we get to make a Halo show. Yay! What are we gonna do? Have any of you guys ever played the games? No? Well, fuck. It's about a guy and humanity. It's just the worst description you could ever give. Reading the Halo interviews and kind of the pre-release material, it sounded so bad. It was probably one of the worst rounds of media release to try to hype people up for content I've ever read. It was just so bad because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know about Halo. They don't know about the source material. All they know is the show that they wrote or the show that they had to act in. And that's it. Like, no one attached to this product, or project, I guess I should say, actually knew anything about Halo. And it's so sad. Because there are so many people out there who love Halo, who would have loved to be able to make an accurate adaptation. But, is what it is. Only a couple more days. I think it comes out on Thursday, right? Halo TV show release date. It's Thursday or Friday? The 24th, Thursday. Comes out on Thursday. How many episodes are releasing? Because I don't think it's all releasing on the 24th, right? Let me Google. Hold on, guys. Yeah, episodes will be released weekly, not all at once. But it seems like they're only releasing one. Yeah, they're only releasing the first one. Because sometimes when they have like 8 to 10 episodes of a show, they'll release like 2 at the beginning. Hoping to get people interested. 1 a week. So, if I survive the whole show, guys, in a couple weeks we'll talk about it again. I'm sure every week during the discussion streams, I'll kind of update you all on my thoughts. All beloved franchises have just become soapboxes for yammering idiots and their agendas. Oh, boy. Why do you guys have to be so truthful and honest? Can't you guys lie a little bit and be like, haha, it's only one franchise. I'm sure the next big franchise to get rebooted or turned from a anime into a live action or a video game to a live action is gonna go great, Vera. I'm sure. Can't you guys lie a little to me? Can't we get a little bit of fake good news? Why does everything have to be so sad? Man, oh man. We'll see. Sheesh. Halo fans are gonna rip the show a new one. I think so. I do not think that they are ready for the backlash that they will face once this show releases and it's trash. I do really think that they're gonna see the wrath of the internet, the wrath of gamers. Let me scroll up a little bit. Did you guys see today Let me see if I can find them on. Hold on. Oh no. I can't believe I had to type in furry controller to Twitter. Listen. Listen. I can see the good in things, right? I can see the good in situations that maybe other people don't. But what the fuck are these? What the fuck are those? You're gonna have to comb your Xbox controller. A furry Xbox controller. That's a new one for me. I feel like I've seen a lot of stupid stuff, right? That's not real. Whatever helps you sleep at night. That's what you want to tell yourself. Furry controller. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, we are officially in the worst timeline. Okay. Next we're moving into something just as bad. Just as bad. Every day we get farther from the light of God. This is the time for someone to say, God is fake. Rover, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. You can't just let their low-rent, low-effort versions destroy your version, the one in your head, the one that you own. They have no ability to wreck that, but they do. That's the problem. It's like, you can avoid some content, but maybe other people can avoid it, and that's great. But for me, it's like with Star Wars. While I fucking love so much of Star Wars, I know that the sequel trilogy exists. I know that fucking Han Solo, a Soy Wars story exists. I know these terrible things exist, so it does ruin it for me. They did wreck it for me. That's the problem. But thank you, Rover, for the $9.99 super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, fuzzy Xbox controllers. Just, I hope people that buy it don't have sweaty hands. I really, really hope. Thank you, Christopher.
Donated $15
for the $15.
IP for clout and owning the brand.
True.
They don't care about fans or respect lore.
True. Thank you, Christopher, for the $15 donation via Streamlabs. Much appreciated. Yep, they don't give a fuck about fans. They only care about getting views, getting clicks, and hoping that they can make money off of it. Unless you're the CW, then you just want to go as low as you can go. Oh, by the way, they announced a bunch of CW shows being renewed today. My favorite show on the internet, Naomi, isn't there. I don't know why. Naomi? Where is she? Flash got renewed for a 10th fucking season or a 9th fucking season, but not Naomi. I'm shocked. They must have a special live event to announce Naomi. Surely, right, guys? Everyone loves Naomi. It's great. But alright, guys, let's get into the next topic of the evening, which is going to be Damon Mills. Now, I'm sure I am gonna talk about this in a video tomorrow, but I'm sure a lot of you already know the situation. But this article does kind of sum up everything that we know right now. If you all had not heard about the initial situation, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, an anonymous individual came out, put out a post online, claiming that Damon Mills, who is a Funimation anime dub voice actor, had molested him when he was just 15 years old. These were some pretty serious claims, pretty big claims, and at first a lot of people were very shocked to hear this. Obviously, when it comes to Funimation, there's been a lot of situations over the past few years that come to mind, like the Vic situation. And a lot of people were initially wanting more information on this, because when we heard about the situation, we didn't have screenshots, we didn't really have any evidence. And since then, it has changed a little bit. Oh, by the way, instant demonetization. Can I just say that because I'm talking about this topic? But there's been a lot of new information coming to light over the past few days because anime industry members reportedly, it's reportedly attempted to pressure Anime News Network into removing coverage of these accusations against Damon Mills. So following an anonymous individual's leveling and retraction of his claim that Funimation anime voice actor Damon Mills had molested him when he was just 15 years old, a new development alleges that the entire situation saw unethical and direct interference by industry members who sought to have the original coverage of the story erased from public memory. And this whole situation truly shows the fucking hypocrisy of some of these voice actors. And I'm not saying every single voice actor that has worked for Funimation or does work for Funimation is a scumbag, a terrible person. I'm not saying that, because there are some good voice actors out there. I've had some bad interactions with voice actors, as you guys have seen. But regardless, me and my cuntiness over here. Anyway, regardless, besides that, we've seen some major fucking hypocrisy here, because as I'm sure you all remember, when Vic was initially accused of everything they ended up accusing him of, I mean, it started with a joke about jelly beans, and then quickly spiraled from there, there were a lot of voice actors who came forward and tried to throw him under the bus and said, yes, he's a terrible, terrible person, and we should believe all victims. Basically, without evidence. So anyone is guilty until proven innocent. And interestingly enough, Damon Mills was one of these people who had previously said, believe all victims, listen to their stories. He is someone who, when the Vic situation had happened, was very vocal. And as a lot of you know, a lot of other voice actors have been very vocal as well on the Vic situation, trying to get him canceled. But suddenly, when all of these allegations were released about Damon Mills, none of them had absolutely anything to say. There have been almost no voice actors who have come out and said anything about the Damon Mills situation. But when allegations were made against someone like Vic, they all had something to say. They all said, oh, believe all victims. He's a terrible, awful person. How could this be a thing? How could people want to support him after this? But it says on March 19th, Anime News Network executive editor, who brought the anonymous man's claims to widespread attention after speaking with him earlier this month, took to her personal Twitter account to announce that she had something to say about the recent Mills articles, because it bothers me enough that I have trouble sleeping. They said, hi, this is the only thing I'm going to say about the articles, because it bothers me enough that I have trouble sleeping. This will probably be screenshotted and archived. During the week of the retraction and the subsequent admission of fabrication, a voice actor and ADR director attempted to get ANN to take our articles down, the person stated that if we didn't, Mills may commit suicide and we would have to write about that. First of all, oh my god, what a 1 to 100 here. Can I just say that? I understand that if you're a terrible person and you've done bad things, you'd probably not want people to cover that, right? Because then your career just goes out the window. But to basically threaten this person with, well, if you don't take your articles down, something serious like suicide could happen, and then you'd have to write about that. What a terrible thing to say to someone who is simply covering a situation. Okay, an individual went to this network to get their story published, and this is what you're saying? Like, what the fuck? The staff member further recalled, the day of the retraction, Duncan was doxxed, and if the screenshot is authentic, Duncan was the name that was used for this anonymous individual. That person that did so probably already knew who he was, or at the very least shared a mutual friend with him on Facebook. I can say with certainty that the legal communications between Duncan, Mills, and his lawyer were shared within the industry. The ADR director/VA had information about those communications that would only be gained by reading them. This includes Duncan's email. I know his email was shared because Duncan asked me if I had shared it. Of course I had not. It is possible, but not provable, outside of it being shared by Duncan, that he got the same communications ANN did about removing articles, that doing so could result in a suicide. That letter stating the allegations were fabricated came a few days after the retraction and was again worded in a way in hopes that we would take down the articles. So they, over the course of multiple days, had gotten multiple emails basically saying, oh, this is going to happen if you don't remove your article. That's going to happen if you don't remove your article. You know, if you don't want to remove your article, hey, that's your choice, but you're going to have to write about all these tragic things, and maybe everyone would know that this tragic thing happened and it was your fault. I mean, holy my goodness. Don't write about the really horrible thing I did or I may commit suicide, and you wouldn't want to write about that, would you? Yeah, that is exactly what happened here. My God. For the industry members and others who were pursuing that end, that's not how journalism works. In the time since my publisher took over ANN, we have taken down only 2 articles, 2 in 20 years. When George Takei was accused and then his accuser recanted, those articles were not taken down. They were updated, same with Kevin Spacey. History doesn't cease to exist when the story changes. This is such a good thing to say, first of all, because it's true. A couple of days ago, I had put out a tweet talking about, basically asking people who, if there's, like, other creators that people would like to see me work with, or, you know, other topics they'd like me to maybe cover on the channel, just to put out a general post. And someone had commented Niche Gamer, and then someone else had commented, oh, but she hates Niche Gamer. She'd never work with Niche Gamer. Because 2 years ago, I had talked about how Niche Gamer was being accused of plagiarism, of plagiarizing Jamatsu articles going back to 2015, and then the owner of Niche Gamer had admitted to doing it and said it's not going to happen again, we're slightly changing hands. I mean, and this is how I feel, just because I've talked about something in the past doesn't mean that I have, like, this hatred and that their content isn't good anymore. It's like, well, things can happen in the past. Time doesn't stand still. Something that happened multiple years ago doesn't change my thoughts now. While yes, that did happen, that doesn't mean that I instantly hate their content or something. And this is so true. History doesn't cease to exist when the story changes. That's It's 100% true. And I feel like so many people don't understand this for some reason. It's like, oh, once something changes, you have to delete all talk about that initial situation. No, of course not. It's history. It's in the past. It happened, yes, but things have changed since then. It says, they next admitted, listen, I hate that a very toxic group of the internet jumped on this. Unfortunately, yes, some people on the internet are toxic and just bad. I knew that would happen the moment the document came into my inbox in November. At the time, it was also sent to Sony and others. I attempted to prep Duncan for this the best that I could, and moving forward, I don't know that I'll head articles like this in the future because I do not think I can adequately protect sources, specifically because of third-party interference on two ends. So this is a pretty massive update. They said the direct interference by industry members is especially unfortunate because it feeds into a larger toxic narrative. This is terrible to hear about. A big problem that I had with the Damon Mills situation is that initially they were just accusations. It was just a post that was put online, and it was just accusations. And obviously, when I talk about accusations here on the channel, and I always say innocent until proven guilty, because that's what I believe. I don't think that it should be guilty until proven innocent. Some people obviously do. But he years ago was someone who had said, believe all victims stories. So why would I give him the fucking benefit of the doubt? You know, why would I give him the benefit of the doubt? And now, of course, we've seen screenshots released. We've seen some potential evidence released. But they finished off with saying it's entirely possible that this situation would have ended the same way, but we'll never truly know due to active attempts at interference, and that's what pisses me off. And then people were listing off names of individuals that might have been interfering with it, with this situation. But yeah, that's where this case stands right now. Apparently, according to these reports, anime industry members attempted to pressure Anime News Network into removing coverage of these accusations, threatening things that you should never threaten, like suicide. So that's all that I had to discuss with that. I am going to talk about this in a video tomorrow, so if you want to know some more of my in-depth thoughts, make sure to stop by then. But damn, it's just, yeah, it's a crazy situation. Am I surprised to see anime industry members pressuring them into removing the coverage? Fucking not at all. And I say that because when people like Vic have been accused in the past of being bad people, even though, again, that situation started with jokes about things like jelly beans, all of these voice actors were extremely loud and vocal on social media, demanding he be blacklisted, demanding his career be ruined. And suddenly, when this person who they're probably friends with has these accusations made against them, they're absolutely silent. So, yeah. That's all that I had to talk about with that. Next, we're going to move on to the final, but probably not the final time I'll ever have to talk about Amazon Lord of the Rings. The final topic of the evening. New guy for your list. You just made the list. All I can think about when we say the word list now is fucking Jericho screaming that, WWE. The list is sacred. Only the worst of the worst deserve to be on the list. Only the worst of the worst. Again, some people have me blocked, so I can't add those people to the list. But believe me, there's gonna be plenty of people that are gonna go on the list. I can't. I'm sorry, it's too funny. Oh, by the way, did I ever tell you guys that Chris Rager didn't block me on Twitter? Yeah, he never did. Yep, I'm still not blocked. Well, he never blocked me. Literally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only like 6 tweets since the tweet about me, though. Damn, he really let that one sit for a long time, huh? The reaction to the situation is why I believe it's true. Why would you threaten suicide if it wasn't true? Unless Mills is even more terrible than I thought, using something like suicide as a threat. Yeah. I mean, I think that that is very, like, 1 to 100. Obviously, we don't know who sent the emails to Anime News Network, but whenever the topic of something like suicide comes up, that doesn't sound like something that would happen if the situation wasn't true and if, you know, they were lies. You'd want to clear your name. Is Pablo Hidalgo on the list? No. Did we ever find out if he's working with Star Wars still or not? Did we ever find out? Because I know a couple weeks ago there were tweets that he had removed it, Lucasfilm, from his like Twitter bio / description. Did we ever get a confirmation on that? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm supposed to be the journalist. Hold on. Hold on. I'm the journalist. That's right. I'm working hard or hardly working over here. Actually, being a journalist would be asking you guys to find me the proof. And then I get paid for work that you guys did. There was a petition to get him fired. Man, the more you know. Wow. I'm working hard over here. I just found out something I never knew. Wow, working hard or hardly working. I don't even remember when it was from, though. Oh, what is this? Ah, oh, thank you, Pablo. I really appreciate your apology. You really upset me. Pablo, you really upset me. I'm truly touched that you apologized to me. I'm probably not the right type of fan that you apologized to, and I probably didn't get the apology, but I'm really appreciative of that. Okay, guys, we'll stop joking about Pablo Hidalgo. Working hard or hardly working? What else? But yeah, I don't know, guys. Alright. Last topic of the evening. Boop, boop, boop. Alright. So, guys, the last topic of the evening is going to be Lord of the Rings. And again, I am going to be covering this, I do think, in a video tomorrow. But, I've talked a lot over the past couple of weeks about Amazon and the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. Just because, even though we are months and months away from the Rings of Power releasing finally, I honestly would hope never. But because we're still months away from it releasing finally, we've only had things to talk about when there's been interviews done with the teasers we've gotten and the major backlash that they've faced over this series and the first look that we've gotten at the series. And I remember last year talking about how it was announced that Amazon was going to be purchasing MGM. And that has finally been finalized. And now a lot of Tolkien fans are very worried about this monopoly. So it says, this is an Inside the Magic article, it says, Amazon reportedly monopolizing Lord of the Rings, Tolkien fans devastated. Now, I've been told on many occasions I'm not a real Tolkien fan, which, you know, sure, if you want to say that. So, guys, as an alleged not real Tolkien fan, even though I've got special edition Lord of the Rings, I've got Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I've got, you know, The Silmarillion, Unfinished Tales, Book of Lost Tales. As an alleged fake Tolkien fan, I thought I'd give you my opinions. So it says, Middle-earth is expanding with Amazon's Rings of Power this September, but fans are up in arms over how much of J.R.R. Tolkien's work Amazon now owns. This is very unfortunate, just to see how much of it they do own now. It says, Amazon's The Lord of the Rings of Power is debuting later this year, but the conglomerate just acquired the rights to The Hobbit and more of Middle-earth, going against one of J.R.R. Tolkien's standards when protecting his stories. The world of author Tolkien and his Middle-earth with Mount Doom, the Shire, and Dark Lord Sauron is one of the most beloved novels and film franchises in history, with director Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy being regarded as one of the greatest sagas of all time. And I think we all here can agree to that. That these movies are fucking phenomenal. They are absolutely fucking amazing. But it says, adding to this fantasy world this September is Amazon's Lord of the Rings of Power, a $500 million streaming series that's been met with mixed reviews upon its official teaser trailer. Let me click this. I just casually want to see what the like to dislikes at. Oh, she's gone up a little. Oh, she's gone up a little. 108 to 164. My God. It's still going. It says, though, not many fans were enthused when Amazon announced that they would be carrying the Tolkien torch following Peter Jackson's Rings and the Hobbit franchise. In fact, upon unveiling new and original characters, many fans expressed their disappointment in Amazon and more, claiming that the studio will undermine his legacy. And I do truly and genuinely believe that. I feel like they had so many characters they could have used, so many stories they could have went with, and instead they decided to put non-Tolkien characters in a Tolkien story. It just, to me, doesn't make sense. Why the fuck would I want to watch a Lord of the Rings show with characters that were not ever written by this amazing and this fucking phenomenal writer? Why would I want that? You're literally going to be putting some of the best characters to ever be written next to some of the worst, most unoriginal characters ever written. There is going to be such a fucking clash of these characters. It's going to be so terrible. Because you're going to have great characters with terrible characters. The reason why this is even existing is because these people can't write anything new and original. It says, nonetheless, Amazon just altered the future of Middle-earth after acquiring the entire film and media rights to The Hobbit, leading many to claim that Amazon is turning the Rings series franchise and the legacy of Tolkien into a monopoly. Yeah, I do truly feel like they kind of have a monopoly at this point. Maybe some people agree. Maybe there are some people out there who disagree. But it was tweeted, following Amazon MGM deal close, FTC warns it may challenge a deal at any time. And then it was tweeted by the OneRing.net, with LOTR rights now up for sale and this MGM deal done, is there any monopolistic case law that prevents Amazon from further acquiring more rights to Middle-earth? Yeah, I do feel like it's a good question. Following the acquisition of MGM Studios, Amazon Studios and more gained complete creative control over the film rights of The Hobbit and more of Middle-earth, opening the door for future Hobbit spin-offs. No. We know that that's what that is instantly what they're gonna do. We can already see the giant amounts of content that they can make here. Unfortunately, it says, much like the Walt Disney Company acquiring the last bit of Marvel IPs with the purchase of 20th Century Fox, Amazon has gained near complete control of all the Lord of the Rings media that fans enjoy today, instilling fear that streaming rights to the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy, directed by Peter Jackson, could change or disappear altogether. And I truly hope that they don't go overboard when it comes to new content, because we know that they're doing multiple seasons of the Rings of Power. We know they're going to start milking it for all it's worth, and I bet we're going to see spin-offs, more spin-offs. I wish I could say that I feel hopeful about this, and that, like, at least this really good company has all these rights now, even if it is monopolistic. As a fan, I'm really glad that it's at least a good company that cares. We know that they do not give a singular fuck, which is the massive problem here. So yeah, that's all that I really had to discuss with this topic, guys. I am gonna be discussing this in a video tomorrow, but Amazon has, as this says, bought the entire MGM kit and caboodle, including Hobbit distribution rights. It's very worrying to see Amazon have all of these rights now, and having this Lord of the Rings Tolkien monopoly. But yeah, that's all that I really had to discuss tonight. We talked about Lord of the Rings, Damon Mills, and the anime industry. We talked about 2 Halo topics. We discussed the Marvel Comics VP allegedly being fired. If you guys have any topics you'd like me to discuss or questions, feel free to leave them in chat now. I will not be ending stream for a little bit longer. So yeah, if you have any questions, topics, leave them in chat. But quickly, before you go, if you are leaving and you're not hanging around for the rest of the discussion, make sure to give the stream a like, check out the links in the description, join our Discord, follow me on social media, donate via super chats, become a member via YouTube memberships. In 9 more members, we can get some new emotes made. Check out Patreon, donate via super chats or Streamlabs. But yeah. Sauron and Galadriel spin-off, they'd like that. They'd like to do that. I know it. Hobbit spin-offs? A little piece of me died even thinking about that. Yeah. Yeah. It could be a monstrosity. Yeah. Man, oh man. It's very, very sad. And very worrying. With any luck, this might actually destroy Amazon. That's not... I mean, a bad show isn't gonna destroy Amazon, no. I mean, they're shoving a shit ton of money into it, but that's because they think that... I honestly, with the amount of money they're spending, I don't know how they expect to make money on it. Fucking disgusting? Yeah. Yeah. I agree. That was very loud. I didn't flinch. I didn't, but that was very fucking loud.
Rover has just donated
Thank you, Rover. Shit. Oh no.
Do you buy an orphan? Self-raising.
Thank you, Rover, for the giant $100 fucking donation. No text to speech. I'm shocked. You know, you make such good jokes sometimes. It's a shame you didn't text to speech anything. But thank you, Rover, for the massive $100 donation. I appreciate it. Next time you should text to speech. That'd be great. Thank you though. If you had given a joke, I probably would have laughed at it. I did? It must be broken then. I didn't hear it. Me? I didn't hear it. Better luck next time. No. Why is the running theme orphan jokes? Why is the running theme orphan jokes? Why? Thank you, Rover, for the $100 donation. Thank you, though. I remember that Damon Mills is a part of Kick Vic. Yes, he was part of Kick Vic. He had made tweets, and they're still up as far as I know to this day. But I know that they've been shared across the internet, where he had basically said, "Believe all victims. All victims' stories should be listened to." They're remaking Charlotte's Web. I feel like that's terrible, but also cute at the same time. Like, I feel on one hand, maybe Charlotte's Web could be a remake is maybe fine. But at the same time, I also feel like we don't need a remake. Some people were asking if you were playing Elden Ring on Thursday. Yes. Guys, on Thursday, I am going to be playing more Elden Ring. I was thinking about it tonight, but I had a bunch of topics that I want to discuss. But on Thursday, I will be doing Elden Ring. And then over the weekend, I also think that I'm going to be doing Elden Ring. I will let you guys know when. But in the next probably week or so, I'm going to be doing my 50K subscriber celebration. It's not going to be anything too exciting. Well, I'm gonna do a couple of things. I don't know what games I'm gonna play yet, so I will let you guys know. On Thursday, I'll let you guys know all of the details, though. But next week, maybe Sunday, potentially Sunday, I'll do the 50K subscriber celebration. But I'll let you guys know. But yes, Thursday, and then over this weekend, I'll be playing more Elden Ring. We are very far into the game, and I'd like to finish it on stream. It's been fun. Elden Ring has been so fucking fun. Are you planning to see the Sonic 2 movie? Yeah, I'll see it. The first Sonic movie wasn't bad, so I'll see it. I like Charlotte's Web. I feel like it's wholesome and cute. Rover gets YouTube Premium for free. Yeah, because my theory is Rover is Susan's long-lost son. Where my fellow Tarnish at? Yeah. I'm loving Elden Ring so far. I haven't made, well, I guess I've made quite a bit of progress off stream. I got through a lot of the capital. We were in the capital city, Lendel, I think it's called. I got to a boss. I'm like 90% it's a main story boss. So I haven't progressed past that point. I have gotten a couple of levels up, but I explored a bunch of the capital, but I stopped at that boss because I'm pretty sure that that's like the next main boss. It literally, there wasn't, I walked into the area, there wasn't, I don't know if it was glitched or something, but the first time I walked into that area, you know the fog, basically, where you have to actually enter into it to activate the boss, that wasn't there. But when I went back, that, like, fog wall was there. So I was like, huh? But it wasn't there the first time, so I unfortunately saw the boss. But yeah. Is it Renala? No, I already did Renala. It is... It's in the capital. He's like gold. He's like I think he's like a spirit. He's like a summon Godfrey. He's like a spirit Godfrey or something. Or Godric. I don't remember. Either one. The names are too close to each other. All the names in this game are too close to each other. Godric, Godfrey. Too close. I'd like to buy Elden Ring, but $60 is kind of too much. I agree that $60 can be a lot for some games, but I feel like Elden Ring on average is like 70 hours for people, and that's only first playthrough. And that's not completionist. That's like average playthrough. So I feel like it's definitely worth it. I thought I was far through the game, but I keep finding more to do. Yeah, I haven't done every single thing in the game. I highly doubt, even though there's walls that you have to hit like 50 times to activate. We're not going to talk about that because that sounds like a pain. But I've got like a lot of hours in the game now because I've played off stream as well. And I still feel like I'm nowhere close to the end. But yeah. Yeah, Renala's Glintstone Academy. I'm in the capital. I think it's Godfrey. Godfrey capital? Or I'll type in Godric capital. Elden Ring. Yeah, Godfrey. I think. I don't know. It's the first one. He's gold. So I think he's like a spirit. He's like a summon type of boss. He's gold. It's not like a normal boss. He's the first Elden Lord. Godfrey First Elden Lord. That was his full name. I tried Elden Ring at a friend's house, and now I'm like a crack addict. After a first hit, I need it. It's really good. It is a really fucking impressive game. It really is. What about the manor with the hands that come out of the ground? That is... What's the manor called? The Sword of Night and Flame is there. I already... Well, so after that area, spoiler, if you haven't played Elden Ring, and are not at that part, once you do that manor, there's like an area behind it, and there's a giant fucking dragon there that I'm not strong enough to fight. So, while I did the manor, Caria Manor, I haven't done the rest of that area. That's not the final boss of the city. I would guess it wasn't, because once I got in there, I didn't realize it was a full boss fight, and I hit it like 2 or 3 times, and I mean, I didn't do a shit ton of damage to it, but like, I could beat the fight if I tried. But it didn't seem epic enough, because there wasn't a cutscene. No spoilers after that, because I don't know who's after that. I don't know what's after that. But I did figure that it wasn't the final boss of the city. That city's way too fucking big and spooky. You have to scale up the dragon wing. And I was like, because at first I was walking around, I'm like, what am I missing? And then I found that, and I was like, oh shit, what's up here? Oh yeah, this city seems really giant. So I didn't think that I was even close to being done it, but at least I've explored a lot of it. But yeah, Elden Ring is really, really fun. It's a blast to watch even if you don't play. I hope that it's fun to watch, because if it's not, well, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep streaming it until I finish this goddamn game, because I'm having fun. I can't wait to beat Elden Ring to play Elden Ring. I keep saying that. Yeah, Radon was a crazy fight. I bet if you didn't use summons and it was like a summonless playthrough, he'd be a fucking nightmare. But he was fun with summons. It was fun. I mean, I died to him like 10 times, but it was fun. Even with summons. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or topics, feel free to leave them in chat now. I'll be wrapping up in just a couple of minutes. LOL Vera? What are you LOL Vera-ing at me for? What did I do to deserve a laugh out loud? The city also has a sewer area. Yeah, I don't know anything about a sewer area yet. I'm gonna play more tomorrow. Probably before stream. My thing is like, I don't want to be super over leveled, but at the same time, I don't want to be under leveled. I want to be right at a decent level to actually do the bosses in this area. Because, I mean, over leveling's fine and all, because I look like a god. But I also don't want to super over level. I heard they nerfed Radon. I know they've nerfed a lot of the weapons in the game. I didn't hear about them nerfing any bosses, though. Honestly, I don't feel like they'd probably nerf a boss just because they want that difficulty to exist. What's the drink tonight? Coca-Cola vanilla. It's my last one. Coke vanilla. Very exciting. Do you review movies? I don't do a lot of like full-blown reviews on the channel, but when a big movie or a big TV show releases, if I don't put up videos talking about them, I will talk about them in live streams, yes. Like when Spider-Man came out, I, in a live stream, spent a good chunk of time talking about it, and I also talked about it in one of my videos on it. Ghostbusters Afterlife, the same thing. When something like Rings of Power comes out, I'll definitely be doing a full video on it and talking about it in live streams. So yeah. I just had to get the Sauna Amanats image closed on my laptop. Hey, Christopher. You're still here, right, Chris? Chris, you love Anita Sarkeesian, right? What do you think about Sauna Amanat? Chris, what do you just out of curiosity. Are you still here? He's always lurking. Guys, that's who we're gonna have to tease Chris about next. Renala was easy. Renala was a pretty cool boss. I think it took me like 5 or 6 tries, because we did like 2 at the end of a stream, and then the rest we had done the next stream. Renala wasn't too hard. Anita... I screenshot that. But yeah. Renala wasn't too hard, but she was very cool. I feel like that's kind of a running theme in Elden Ring, is that you could really have a hard fucking time with the game if you didn't overlevel, you didn't use summon, stuff like that. But I feel like... Thank you for the $10 donation. I feel like they're all really cool. Maybe, if he's streaming. Sometimes I'll pop in and out of EVS's stream. But thank you for the $10 donation. Random name. Much appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, Chris is a big fan of her, for sure. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that, and I'm gonna share that in the Discord server for Chris after this, Grim, so that, I can say, moderators stick together. Grim knows Chris's tastes in women. Anita, Sana, he loves them all. Chris is, he's a, I don't want to tell you all, but Chris is a feminist. Okay, that's enough for me tonight. But yeah, all the Elden Ring bosses, while they can be really difficult if you're under-leveled and you're not using, like, top-of-the-line broken equipment, they can be difficult, but they're really fun. All the themes of them are really fucking cool. Yeah, Renala's rewards, they're really good if you are using a mage, and if you're not, they're bad. I mean, the same thing goes vice versa, though. Like, if you're not using a warrior, then some of the more warrior-focused equipment sucks. You just named 2 of the 5 most evil women in history. No. You need to get a care package of the new Mountain Dew. The alcoholic Mountain Dew. That's my depression is gonna kick in. Iowa, Tennessee, or Florida. Only places you can get alcoholic Mountain Dew. That's depressing. What's more depressing? That or them ruining Lord of the Rings? Okay. Clearly it's Lord of the Rings, but... the Mountain Dew is very sad. Launched into the sun. Oh my god. Come on, guys. That's not very nice of you. It's not very thoughtful of you. TNN. Oh my god, these comments. Wow. Of course, the one time he's not here. Oh, he'll see these screenshots though. Guys, Anita is just a nice, thoughtful, great person. And you are just mad that you're not as cool as her. Right? That's gotta be it. How could you ever hate a poor, amazing soul like that? I don't know how many of you in chat play Apex, and I figured I'd mention this really quickly. But I mean, I stream Apex. Someone leaked the next, like, couple years worth of Apex Legends content online. Yep. Yep, they leaked all of it. There's a giant fucking folder online filled with new legends, heirlooms, maps, weapons. I mean, EA and Respawn just had like 4 years worth of content leaked for Apex. That is pretty shitty for them. Road trip for the new Mountain Dew. Nowhere close. Nowhere close to me. I love the videos you made about Vic. I like your red hair. Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Years? Yeah. Like 3 years. Or 3 to 4 years. I mean, I'm just judging from the perspective of an Apex player who's seen how many new legends release every year and how many new maps have released over the past 3 years since Apex was released. I'm just looking at it that way, but I mean, there were a ton of new guns, which we don't get new guns that often. Between like the 9 new legends that were leaked, I mean, we get 2 new legends a year to 3 new legends a year. So that's like 3 years right there. I mean, it's years worth of content. That is, whew. EA and Respawn, they just got screwed over. I don't know. Let me see. I'm not gonna show any of it on screen because I don't know if they're gonna copyright claim shit. But there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 new legends. 3 new heirlooms. 1 new BR map. A bunch of new arena maps. 4 guns. New attachments for things like lasers, like laser sights. New burst fire item, like attachments for tons of different weapons that are already out. And then a bunch of story stuff. So yeah, they just got screwed over by leaks. Sucks to be them. But alright, you guys. With that being said, I am gonna wrap up the live stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do really appreciate it. Thank you for the donations and for the support, everyone. Much, much appreciated. Again, no stream tomorrow as it is Wednesday, but I will be streaming again on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be playing some more Elden Ring for a few hours. Check out links in the description. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, Odyssey, Getter. Join me over on Patreon. Become a member via YouTube memberships. Join our Discord server. We're very active there, and I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you of the live streams. Check out the past couple days worth of videos. New videos tomorrow on some of the things we talked about tonight. Damon Mills, Amazon. But yes, with that being said, thank you for the donations, for the support, for watching, and for stopping by. Thank you all for being here, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.